Let me bring in my guests here. First, I'd like to bring in TK Pillan. It's nice to have you here. I want to bring in my next guest, Zach Vouga. It's great to have you here. Bringing on my next guest, hey, Seth Goldman. It's great to see you here again. Last but certainly not least, Kim Anderson. So happy to have you with me, Kim. You are a force of nature in and of it yourself. Whoever wants to jump in, I'll let you do it. Where do you see cellular playing a role here in fast food in particular?
I think that there's billions of dollars going into that field. We're a part of that. We wholeheartedly believe in it because you can't get everybody to go plant-based, and we're gonna have to provide a solution. When we have price parity, who's McDonald's going to order from? They're going to order from the one that has no hormones, no antibiotics, not a potential for E. coli or mad cow disease, and having Gen Z picketing at their door for being environmental devastators and preventing the next pandemic, all of it. It's going to be an easy choice when they get to price parity. So the people who are standing there saying, oh, I'm never going to eat that, they're not going to have a choice. That's what McDonald's is going to offer. And that's what everybody else is going to offer too. We just need to get it to the point, hopefully, that we can reach price parity.
Yeah, cellular agriculture at price parity is the death of animal agriculture. It's really, you wouldn't choose it otherwise. But do you envision that in your own restaurants? Zach, what do you think? Cellular burgers, are they coming to plant-powered fast food?
This is an incredibly divisive topic right now in the vegan and plant-based communities. And, hopefully it gets to a point soon where it can be done without the fetal bovine serum. And, I'd have to take a long, hard look at how it's being fostered. I'm certainly not against it overall for the movement. I think it's an excellent thing. I'll tell you what really excites me. I'm sure you guys are well aware, but Perfect Day Foods is a really exciting company. They've essentially taught microflora to replicate the proteins of milk, right, and whey. And so, these things are very interesting topics to keep, at least at Plant Power, we're keeping our finger on the pulse for. And I fully predict the next 5 years, you'll see plant-based restaurants and traditional restaurants alone start to interlace their menu with some of these offerings.
Perfect Day brought me to tears when I tried that ice cream, and it is ice cream. It is nothing but pure, rich, delicious ice cream. I knew I was holding the end of animal agriculture in my hands. There is no reason that you would ever choose anything involved with animal agriculture when you have that right there. And you're exactly right. They're sort of teaching, they're giving microflora the cliff notes of what it means to grow animal protein. And then they're adding fat and sugar. I mean, what's not to love? Okay, Seth, you brought it up. What are your predictions for cellular agriculture? And is it going to be in plant burger?
It would not be. It's not plant-based. It's so I don't see it in plant burger. And I think if I look, I think I also share Kim's view that it's a movement. We need everybody. So I'm not in any way condemning this approach, but I don't see it being relevant for us. The other thing that I'm willing to predict is that within 5 years we're going to see a flipping point around plant-based meat. So right now people say, well, why do we need plant-based meat? And it's there's pros and cons of it, but within 5 years, we're going to have plant-based will have an advantage of parity or better around taste, advantage on nutrition, advantage on environmental impact, advantage on health impact, and within 5 years, they're going to have the advantage around cost. And so it almost makes meat. Then it flips the question, and they say, well, why do we need animal-based meat? What's the point? What's is it just so we can have a system of raising and slaughtering billions of sentient creatures? Because that doesn't seem like a very compelling motivation.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. I think it's the motivation to line the pockets of those people interested in that. But otherwise, there would be no reason for the rest of us living on the planet to want that for ourselves or animals or the planet.
Yeah, so I'll jump in or add on to what Seth said. Hey, plant-based is solving a lot of problems right now and is going to keep getting better at solving those problems. Hopefully, the cellular side will solve some problems that plant-based can't. Whether it's a certain cut of meat, a steak, or a salmon, right? And but plant-based is solving a lot of problems. We'll keep solving those problems even better, and hopefully the cell-based will solve some problems that plant-based can't.
Yeah, I love that approach. It does take a village. And then adding to cellular agriculture, there's also fermented proteins. And so that's what we were talking about with Perfect Day, which is what they're doing with ice cream. But a lot of people are doing that with dairy and milks. And then not fermented proteins, but biomass proteins with companies like Nature's Find, where they're creating meat really from microbes. So I think people are going to have a lot of option, and that's what people like. Is they, there's this fear that their meat is being taken from them, but actually it's being replaced with so many options, and so many healthier options, some not healthy. I mean, when you bring in cellular agriculture, then you lose the health benefits. So you don't have antibiotics and hormones with cellular, but you do have TMAO and animal heme, et cetera. So I think people are going to want choices, and some people are going to go for plant-based, and some people are going to go for cellular, and the more the merrier, as long as it's not animal agriculture.